All right, and we are live. What's up, my beautiful ladies? Happy Monday. Glad you are here. Glad you're able to join. Can everybody see me? We're having some technical difficulties, it looks like. There we go. Okay, awesome. Welcome. If you're here, if you're joining us today on our training of the dangerous lie that's preventing women in the comments. And if you're watching us on the replay, drop replay in the comments. Okay, today we're going to be breaking down the biggest lie that is preventing so many women, potentially including yourselves, from not just from losing weight, but specifically losing belly fat and from keeping it off. And what I mean by that is that stubborn belly fat that no matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try to diet, you just feel like it won't go away. Can anybody relate to that? If you're here, it's probably because you can relate to that. Now tomorrow, what we're going to be doing and our training at part 2 is diving into the most effective way, not only to lose the weight and the stubborn belly fat and get that nice toned body that you want, but we're going to talk about why it's happening. Today we're going to talk about, tomorrow we're going to talk about the most effective way to get it off. Today we're going to talk about why it's happening, what's preventing you from losing it, why it's so hard to get off, and the biggest lie that the diet industry and all the diet companies are telling you that is preventing you from losing it, right? Like, why do so many women struggle to lose weight, especially body fat, and other women don't have a hard time at all? And that's what we're getting into today. Why is it so hard? If you're catching this live, again, put a live in the comments so I know you're here and I know how to best support you. And if you're watching the replay, put replay in the comments. Okay, so live if you're here live, and replay if you're watching the replay. And I want to make sure I can see the comments here. So let me make sure that I can get there. There we go, Nicole. Okay, now I can see your comments. That was my problem. Okay, now we're good. Now I can see. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Holly. Hi, Nikki. Okay, glad you guys are here. I'm like, so this is my technical difficulty today. Usually I go live. So I go live on Instagram all the time and I go live in my client group, but I do it from my phone and I almost never use my computer to do it. It's been like a year and a half. So I'm having to thank you for your patience. Glad you guys are here. Awesome. Okay, glad you guys are here. Okay, let's get into it. Firstly, as you're hearing this story, guys, I want to know if you can relate to this or not. My experience with dieting and trying to lose weight and change my body started when I was like 15 or 16 years old. Pretty young, you might think, but I do know, and I know some of you watching, and I know some of you that wanted to do this training, I know you guys can relate. I literally started dieting when I was 15 or 16 years old. That's when I decided that I wanted to lose a little bit of weight, right? Most of my friends were skinnier than me. I was a little bit chubby. I had grown up a little bit chubby. And you know, my mom was always doing different diets. My mom was always going to the gym. My dad was a runner. He had lost a lot of weight when I was younger. So I watched them as well. So that's when the dieting cycle really started for me. I wanted to lose weight. I really wanted to look fit and toned. Specifically, I really liked that look of having muscle tone. So, you know, my mom was always doing things like Weight Watchers, Dr. Phil diet. My dad was doing things like completely cutting fat out of his diet. So that's what I thought I had to do. I thought I had to just eat healthy all the time. Couldn't eat any snacks or treats that I loved, had to only eat vegetables, had to eat super low calorie. And that's when it all started for me when I was 15 or 16 years old. I also thought, because my mom was always struggling with her weight, that maybe I was just going to have this struggle my whole life. And maybe I would just have to accept that I was going to be chubby forever too. Drop me a me in the comments if you can relate to this. If this is something that you've thought before, that you're like, maybe I'm just meant to be this way and I'm not meant to look like that. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, so I would do these diets, cut back to 1,200 calories, lose some weight, really never look that toned, and then gain it back. And I was constantly trying to eat at 1,200. Yeah, right? I know. I think a lot of us have been there. I see you. Yeah. Nikki, so yeah, Nikki, for sure. I know you and I kind of had like that same thing, I feel, when we were growing up. So constantly trying to eat at 1,200 calories, trying to eat just healthy foods, trying to eat clean. You know, I know you guys have all heard this. You just got to eat clean. You just got to eat clean. Sometimes, like during this, I would be so starving. I would have no willpower, eat some chips, eat a donut, and then beat myself up for it. And not only would I beat myself up for it, but and I know a lot of you guys can relate to this one too. I would let this like carry on for like 2 or 3 days or a whole weekend, and then you know what it always is. It's always, okay, I'm gonna start again on Monday, right? It's always that like start again on Monday, start again on Monday. And then I'd start this whole process over. And it was just so hard to stick to this. And this was from when I was 15 to 16 all the way through to after I had Jack. So this went on for like over 10 years. This back and forth. Lose weight, gain weight. 1,200 calories, binge eat. Like back and forth. It's just so crazy. I figured there must be something wrong with me. Like I just have no willpower. I can't do it. I didn't have it in me. It felt so hard, and like it was like continuously feeling like a failure, right? Almost to the point where I'd want to give up. It's like, why can other people do this and I can't? Why do other people look so fit and no matter what I do, it just feels impossible? Why do I always gain this weight back? So frustrating. And I know, again, if you guys relate to this, drop me in the comments. So this is the thing though, like why doesn't this work? Why is 1,200 calories so hard to stick to? Even like 1,200, if you're eating more, maybe even 13, 14 you're trying, and maybe even that's hard. Some people I've even seen do this like 900, 800 calories. I couldn't even imagine. Or why is it so hard just to stick to eating clean and just stick to eating healthy all the time? And that is like literally the biggest lie and misconception that the diet industry has fed us. That we need to only eat healthy and good foods and that we have to eat super low calories. It's just insane, this lie. Like, you can't just continuously for the rest of your life live your life perfectly and not ever having a donut or chips or a glass of wine unless you don't drink, right? First of all, it's not just about eating clean, and it's not just about eating super low calories for the rest of their life. This is literally the diet industry's ploy. And unfortunately, I even see like a lot of fitness coaches doing the same thing. People come onto their program and they're throwing them on these super low calorie meal plans, and it's like, it works so temporarily. No one can live off a meal plan. Like, no one would want to. Temporarily, yes, but what happens after? It's a ploy to get you to continuously come back to these diets, lose the weight, be successful, gain the weight back, and then like, oh, I better go back on that diet. It's their plan to get your money and to keep you coming back, right? So it's not, eating healthy and eating good foods, of course it matters. We want to take care of ourselves and we want to feed our body healthy foods. But it's not just about eating healthy, it's about eating right. And what I mean by eating right is eating the right amount of food to support you, to support your body, to support your goals. And not just to support your goals of losing weight. You have to be eating enough to lose weight, and at the same time, have your body and your brain thrive and function properly too. It doesn't need to be starving all the time. When we continuously eat these super low calories, a few things happen. Firstly, your metabolism slows down because your body's adjusting to those calories. Whatever amount of food you're eating, your body's catching up to make that your maintenance calories. That's why if you've ever done a super low calorie diet and then you gain it back and then you go back to that same diet, it feels really hard it feels like you're not losing weight again, right? Let me know if you guys have done that one too, where you go back to the same diet or the same calories and nothing happens. So what ends up happening when we do that, we end up not only gaining the same amount of weight back, but a lot of times people end up gaining more weight back, more weight than they lost in the first place. So that's one thing that happens. Another thing happens is that sometimes the calories are so low, or the plan even is just so strict that it's almost impossible to stick to, right? And that's one of the reasons why people struggle to lose weight too, because they're going to such extremes, and it doesn't have to be that extreme. So one of my clients, we'll call her Yolanda, when she came to me, she had been eating extremely low calories for a while, on a really strict meal plan. Yeah, right? Really strict meal plan, and she was really starting to feel the effects of it. She was tired. She was moody. She was having a hard time stick to it, and she was starting to really have these binges every weekend, and she was starting to go into this binge on the weekend, start over on Monday. Binge on the weekend, start over on Monday. And I hate this part of it, the restrict and binge cycle, because firstly, this is when we start telling ourselves that certain foods are bad. And once we start telling ourselves that certain foods are bad, it not only do we beat ourselves up when we go to eat it or when we have it, but during those times, this is a good one. Let me know if you relate to this one. The times that we allow ourselves to have these foods. So let's say I've been on this crazy strict diet and I haven't had any chips, because chips are my thing. Chips are my favorite. This is my favorite food. So chips, for example, if I've cut out chips for a long time, I tell myself I can't have it. And honestly, there is some times where we do, if we can't control ourselves around certain foods, there are times to not have it around, right? Out of sight, out of mind. But if every time you're gonna be I'm not supposed to have this, so I'm gonna have some, because you think you can never have it again, it's something called the Last Supper phenomenon. So you binge on it and you overeat it because you think you shouldn't have it and you think it's bad and you better eat as much as you can right now because you're never gonna be able to have it again. That's a big one. And that's a big one in this restrict and binge cycle, right? So my client Yolanda, that's kind of what was happening. She's at the point now where every weekend it was wine and donuts and then start again on Monday. She told me she'd been trying to lose weight for so long. She had lost some, she'd gained it back, and she was trying to lose it again, and she was running out of the will to do it. And she had been on this diet for months, and her calories were so low, and it was coming to a head. She was generally at the point where she thought she wasn't meant to look fit, and she just thought she would never lose the belly fat, and that was her trouble spot. It was the belly fat. She was ready to completely give up, accept that she was just stuck, and because it was too hard. She's I don't have it in me to do it, right? If you have ever felt stuck and you've ever thought that you just weren't meant to do it, I want you to put lie in the comments, because it is a lie. It's not as hard as you think it is. You don't have to go to extremes, and you can get the results that you want. So with Yolanda, when we got her focusing on the right amount of food, all these amazing things happened. And this is what I see with my clients all the time. Okay, So we got her focusing on eating the right amount of food instead of extremely, oh, hey, Melissa, I didn't see you there. Thank you for joining. We got her focusing on eating the right amount of food. She had more energy. Her belly started to flatten out. She started seeing noticeable differences in the tone in her legs and her bum, and like everything changed. She then had more energy to work out. She had more energy for her job. She was able to keep the weight off. She still kept it off. She's still looking fabulous. Feeling more confident. And these are my two favorite parts. In turn, she actually started a brand new career in real estate. I'm super proud of her. And she actually like rekindled things with her husband, and they were actually like in the middle of separating at the time. So that's the thing about super low calories. It's not just like you get stuck in plateau and not being able to lose weight. Like it affects your moods. It affects, you get fatigued, right? Anger is a real thing. And when you do it for too long, you become unhappy and miserable, and it becomes not fun anymore, and you don't want to do it, and you want to give up, right? Okay, so a lot of you I've already spoken to. We've chatted a little bit. Tomorrow we're gonna do more of a training of how you can get these results and how you're basically gonna do the opposite of what we just talked about and get past these lies and these super low calorie diets. So I'm going to reach out to you guys if I haven't already and we haven't already chatted. Let me know. Oh, hey, Dorcas. I haven't talked to you for a long time. Welcome. I'm happy to see you here too. If we haven't already chatted about what you guys are trying to work on or your goals, let me know you're here and comment, reach out in the comments. The reason I'm going to reach out is so that I can get you the best resources to work on your specific goals and hopefully get you, if you're in this weird dieting cycle, get you away from that and set you up so that you can have the best results possible. So look for my message shortly and then come back tomorrow for training number 2, which is going to give you more information on how you can lose that belly fat and get toned, and the best part, keep it off. And I think that's probably the biggest struggle for everybody. If you guys got value out of this training today, comment value in the comments, and we'll see you guys back here tomorrow. So remember, the biggest lie here, you don't have to just eat healthy. You don't have to just eat the super low, ridiculous calories to lose the weight and get the body you want. You don't have to be stuck. And that's what I hate. I hate seeing women being stuck, one, in a body they don't feel confident in, doing this diet cycle for their whole lives, because most women go through it their whole lives, not living your absolute best life, and there's just such a better way to do it, and you deserve to look and feel your best. And the other thing to remember too is the weight loss part is short and temporary. Okay? Awesome, guys. I will reach out to you guys and come back here tomorrow and have a great day. It's beautiful here. I hope it's beautiful where you guys are. Nikki, I know you're out west. I hope you guys are having good weather. Okay. Awesome, guys. Have a great day.